Yes, sir.
What about now? Can you hear me? Other students, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so in today's session, we'll focus on installation of SAP Web ID tool. So to install SAP Web ID tool locally, what we need to do is we need to follow this procedure. So step one is first you need to install JDK software. Install JDK software in your system. That is part of step one. And step two is you need to install SAP Web ID tool. And step three is you need to create new account for Web ID tool. And step four is you need to configure settings. So under this, you need to configure something like destination file, and you need to configure host file. And then you can develop applications using SAP Web ID tool. So you need to follow this procedure. Install JDK, then Web ID. After that, create one new account. Then configure some settings so that you can connect to the backend system. After that, you can develop your application. So this is a simple procedure you need to follow. So let me go with step-by-step procedure. Step one is install JDK 8. Step two, as I told you, we are going to install SAP Web ID tool. Then step three is create new account for Web ID. Then step four is configure settings. That is configure destination file and just configure host file. So after that, now we can develop applications using SAP Web ID tool. So let us follow this procedure. So installing JDK 8. I think at the time of installing Eclipse, you might have already installed JDK. At the time of installing Eclipse tool, you might have already installed JDK software in your system. If it is already installed, you need not reinstall again. You can use that existing JDK. If Web ID is not working, then only install JDK. And those who did not install Eclipse, try to follow this procedure. So you can open below link. I'll go with procedure wise, step by step. If it is already installed, you can ignore this. So open below link, and this is the link you need to use. Okay, you can go to this link. Don't search in Google, directly go to this link. And select JDK related .zip file, sorry, .exe file. You can go to this link, select JDK related .exe file. So let me take that screenshot here. Okay, you can see here, this is the link. Under that, you can select this one, JDK related .exe file, this one, 166 MB, Windows 64-bit. So Web ID local installation works with Windows 64-bit. So better select this option. From here, you can download. Okay, so here, when you select that, you'll get one checkbox here. You can select review option and click on download. Select review option and click on download here. So click on download. It will redirect to login page. It will redirect to Oracle login page here. If the account is already available, you can use it. Or else you can create a free account here. Just a free account, you can create that before coming to this JDK. So let me check whether my account is working or not. Okay, so login is successful. If the login is successful, you'll get one pop-up box here. So just click on save. If you don't have Oracle account, just create one new account here before coming to this JDK. Okay, so should get this. It's related to JDK. You can save it locally. Okay, let me click on save. So here you can see status, it is completed. You can open that folder. So JDK is installed here. You can, JDK is downloaded and it is available under downloads folder. So in your system, you can go to downloads folder. And a downloads folder, you'll find this. What you need to do is just double click this and click on next, finish. Then click next, finish. So don't change any setting, just proceed like this. In my case, I'm not proceeding because it's already installed. So let us not disturb that. But in your case, if it is not installed, just double click this exe file and then click next, finish. And it's better to restart your system. Okay, so that is part of step 1. Click on download, then log into Oracle. Then click on save. Now, after that, open your downloads folder. Open your downloads folder in your system. Then just double click on JDK exe file and then click next, finish. And it is recommended to restart your system. So that is technically step 1. With this procedure, you can complete JDK installation in your system. The same process we have followed even for Eclipse. And WebID also internally uses JDK. That's the reason why I started with this step 1. WebID also internally uses JDK if you are installing WebID locally. So it's compulsory. Now, what is step 2? Step 2 is install WebID tool. Install SAP WebID tool software. So what you do is open Google Drive link I'll be forwarding that link. So what to do is open Google Drive link, and that link I'm going to share it via email. No need to worry. Immediately after the session, I'll be sharing that. But you can see here, you can see there is Google Drive. Under Google Drive, you'll find something like web ID. Here you can see, you'll get one zip file like this, latest SAP web ID local.zip file. So through Google Drive, you can download this. It's a zip file, and it is also pre-configured with some of the settings. And what you do is, after downloading, so you can download this, just select and click on download. And then click on download anyway. Don't click on cancel, just download anyway. So open Google Drive link, which I'm going to share, and then click on download and click on download anyway. So you'll get one pop-up, just click on save. That file will be downloaded and it will be available in your downloads folder. Click on save and then click on OK. So it will take some time to download that. Here you can see that status. It has downloaded within no time. So you can open your downloads folder. It's 260 MB software here. Now open your downloads folder in your system. Open your downloads folder in your system. So here, so you can open that. You can see latest SAP web ID. It's a zip file. So what you do is copy this file. Copy this particular file and go to C directory. Go to C directory and create one new folder here. Create one new folder. Copy web ID related .zip file from your downloads folder. Then go to C directory. That's recommended. And create new folder. For example, SAP web ID folder. Then paste SAP web ID related .zip file under that folder. Go to C directory, create one new folder, for example, SAP web ID, and paste your web ID related .zip file under that new folder. So here you can see, in my case, I've created one folder under C directory as SAP web ID tool. Under that, I've pasted. You can also paste your web ID related .zip file. After pasting this zip file, what you do is right click and click on extract here. Very simple. So here, this is a new folder created under C directory. So select that zip file and just click on extract here. So when you click on extract here, automatically internally one folder will be created as Eclipse. Internally one new folder will be created as Eclipse. Automatically it gets created after extracting this zip file. So you can right click, web ID related .zip file, and click on extract here. After extracting, automatically some files and folders will be generated. Files and subfolders. Eclipse folder will be created automatically, and subfolders will be generated. Just remember this note. After extracting something like Eclipse folder, after extracting zip file, what you will get is you'll get one Eclipse folder and subfolders along with some files. Everything is auto-generated here. So in my case, I'm not extracting again because it's already extracted. So I got Eclipse folder here. Under Eclipse folder, you'll get some subfolders and other files internally. So not only that, you can see there is orient.exe file here. So you can paste web ID related .zip file under that new folder. Then what you need to do, extract SAP web ID related .zip file. Right click on this one and click on extract. So that's the option you need to select, extract here. So after the extraction is completed, let me write that note. After extraction, after extracting web ID zip file, automatically Eclipse folder and subfolders, Eclipse folder, subfolders, and other files are auto-generated. Just remember that. So with this procedure, I can say web ID is installed successfully. Here also, it's better to restart after extracting. It is recommended to restart your system. So with this procedure, I can say your web ID tool is installed inside your local system. Now, what you need to do is step 3. So according to step 3, you need to create new account for SAP Web ID tool. So you can create new account for SAP Web ID tool. That is, go to SAP Web ID folder and open Eclipse. And then what you do is double click on orient.exe file. Double click on orient.exe file. Then only it will start Web ID tool. When you double click on orient.exe file, it will start Web ID tool inside your system. After double click on this one, what you do is minimize orient.exe file window. Don't close it. Just minimize orient.exe file window. So whenever you want to start Web ID tool, you need to do this. If you want to open Web ID tool tomorrow, then also you need to just double click on orient.exe file, minimize that window. Or else what you do is here, after extracting, you can right click orient.exe file and send it to desktop as shortcut icon. So next time onwards, you need not go into that folder. Instead, you can start your Web ID tool from desktop itself. Right click orient.exe file, send to desktop as a shortcut icon. So next time onwards, from desktop itself, you can start your Web ID tool. And minimize that window whenever you are working on Web ID tool. Okay, let me put this here. Here you can see, after extracting this, you got Eclipse folder. Under that, you are getting subfolders and orient.exe file. Just double click this. Whenever you want to work with Web ID tool, just double click this one. So double click on orient.exe file. Then minimize that orient window.